Very simple nigun to bring some music back into the Beit Tfilah, to warm it up, fill some of the empty spaces that are yet to be filled by our returning congregants. We'll have to have musical notes to fill them up in the meantime. I'll sing it one more time. You can just join me as you pick up the melody. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. That's the whole nigun. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. One more time. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. This is called Job's nigun. Called Job's nigun because we sing it as a nigun with no words. But when Job heard the words, heard the melody, these words were in his mind. It went like this. Adonai Natan, Adonai Laka, Yehi Shem Adonai Mevorah, Yehi Shem Adonai Mevorah. God is given and God is taken away. Blessed be God's name. And we use this nigun to introduce the afternoon service because first we have martyrology early in the afternoon, yizkor, different kinds of memory, different ways we remember those who walked among us, taken from us. Still we bless God's name. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Page 1. How does one find God? In heaven and earth, in a clap of thunder, in a whisper of the soul, in praise on yellowed parchment in an ancient tongue, in yearning of the heart, in a child not yet born. Together, blessed is the one who is. Taste of tears and wine, sight of starry skies, old men's voices chanting, children singing, scientists asking, artists proclaiming, blessed is the one who will be. All the web of creation, Shining in God's bright sunlight, the dew that is gathered in darkness transfixes the light of day. Blessed is the one who is and who will be. Together, 3 times the Torah links Yom Kippur with the practice of self-denial. By tradition, we fulfill this mitzvah by fasting, and these 3 references may suggest 3 reasons for this. Judaism calls for self-discipline. When we control our appetites on Yom Kippur, we remember that we can be masters, not slaves of our desires. Judaism calls for empathy. When we consciously experience hunger, we think about the millions who need no Yom Kippur to suffer hunger. Judaism calls for tshuva. The confession we make with our lips is a beginning. The repentance we do through fasting teaches us that we have sinned against ourselves and others. Fasting is only good when it helps us transform ourselves and society. And it is this achievement that is the ultimate end of our worship on Yom Kippur. On page 3. And it will come to pass in the fullness of time that the mountain of God's house will be established as the highest mountain and raised above the hills, and all nations will flow to it. Then all peoples will say, "Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Eternal, to the house of the God of Jacob." And they will say, "Teach us your ways, that we may walk in your paths." I invite to the bima Steve Tulsky and Max Braun to open the ark as we rise to remove the Torah from the ark. And I need the Torah carriers, Jeffrey Kalman and Dan Weisberg.
Le'alom Yisrael Kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Nora Shemo. Eloheinu Kadosh Nora Shemo. Gadlul Adonai iti Uneramama Shemo Yachdav. It's a new one. Yeah.
Yehi Tzion, Tzei Torah. Yerushalayim,
Yisvechu hashamayim,
Hashamayim,
Yisvechu hashamayim,
Hashamayim,
Yisvechu hashamayim,
Tage haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Tage haaretz.
Everybody can be seated. You can follow the reading of the Torah beginning on page 5 in the book that you have. It's right around. It just got rolled. The good thing about the Torah is you know it's in there. You just have to find it.
Somewhere. Somewhere. It's always there somewhere.
Our first Torah reader is Terry Levy. And for the Aliyah, we call Barbara Hamel. Ta'amod Batya Bat Moshe Ufega Ta'amod Rishonah.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim Benatan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vaydaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor. Daber El Kol Adat B'nai Israel Ve'amarta Alehem Kadoshim Tihu Ki Kadosh Ani Adonai Elohechem Ish Imo Ve'aviv Tira'u Va'et Shabtotai Tishmoru Ani Adonai Elohechem Al Tifnu El Ha El Elilim Velohe Maseha Lo Ta Ta'asu Lahem Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayai natav etochenu Baruch atah Adonai notai Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
For the second reading of Torah, we call Gail Harden to the reading and Stacy Herrera to the Aliyah. Ta'amod, Sarah Bluma, Yosef Natan, Torah Gifted, Ta'amod, Hashniah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bracha banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Uvkutrahem et katzir artechem lo techale pe'at sadecha liktzor veleket ketziracha lo telaket
Yeah.
וחרמها לא תעולל, ופרת כרמها לא תלקט, לעני ולגר תעזוב אותם, אני אדוני אלוהיהם. לא תגנובו, velo tihachashu, velo tishakaru, ish ba'amito, velo tishaveru vishmi lashaker lehilalata, et shem Elohecha ani Adonai, lo tik lo lo toasho et reaha velo tik zol lo talin peolat sahir iteha ad boker lo תכלה חרש ולפני עיוור לא תיתן משול ויראך, ויראת מאלוהיך אני אדוני.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan v'tzidkenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
And for the third Torah reading, we invite Jamie Morgenstern to the reading of the Torah and Jonathan Kaplan for the Aliyah. Ya'amod, Jonathan ben Abraham, Ya'amod, Shlishi.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. לא תעשו עוול במשפט, לא תישא פני דל, ולא תהדר פני גדול, בצדק תשפוט עמיתך, לא תלך רכיל בעמך, לא תעמוד על דם רעך, אני אדוני. לא תשנא את אחיך בלבביך, הוכיח תוכיח את עמיתך, ולא תישא עליו חטא. לא תיקום ולא תיטור את בני עמך, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, אני אדוני.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher nata lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tachenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
All right. I'd like to now call to the bima Stella Lorvan as Hagba and Yvonne Lorvan as Glila to lift and dress the scroll. Ta'amodna hamagbiha hagolelet.
Israel, Adi Adonai, Beyad Moshe.
Udvar Tetzei Torah, Udvar Adonai Yerushalayim, Ki hi mitzion, Ki hi mitzion, Tetzei Torah. Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim. Shenaton Torah le'amor, Shenaton Torah le'amor. Baruch shenaton Torah le'amor, Shenaton Torah le'amor. Yisrael, B'kedushato, Shenaton Torah le'amor. Yisrael, B'kedushato. Zion, B'tzei Torah, Udvar Adonai Yerushalayim, Ki mitzion, Ki mitzion, Tetzei Torah, Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim. Everybody can be seated. I'm going to invite to the bima now the first installment of the BIJ players who will assist with the reading of the Jonah story, which is our Haftarah. You can follow the blessings and the bits of the Haftarah that I'll be chanting in your book, and then you can follow the story of Jonah beginning on page 11. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar בנביאים טובים ורצה בדבריהם הנאמרים באמת. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בתורה ובמשה עבדו ובישראל עמו ובנביאי האמת והצדק. ויהי דבר אדוני אל יונה בן אמיתי לאמור, קום לך אל נניבי העיר הגדולה וקרא עליך כי עלתה רעתם לפניי.
Now the word of Adonai came to Jonah, son of Amittai, saying,
Get up, go to Nineveh, the great city, and cry out to it, for their wrongdoing has come up before my face.
And Jonah arose to flee toward Tarsus from the presence of Adonai. He went down to Joppa and found a boat going to Tarsus. He paid the fare, got on board to go with them to Tarsus away from the presence of Adonai.
And Adonai hurled a great wind upon the sea, and a great storm was on the sea, and the boat was on the brink of breaking up. And they were afraid, every sailor, and they cried each man to his God, and they threw the equipment of the board overboard to lighten the load. And Jonah had gone down to the furthest deck, had lain down and gone to sleep. And he was approached by the ship captain, who said to him,
How can you sleep? Get up and cry out to your God. Perhaps he will think this God of us, and we will not be lost.
They said each man to his fellow,
Let us cast lots so that we may know on whose account this evil has happened to us.
And they cast lots, and the lot fell to Jonah. They said to him,
Tell us, please, because of whom is this evil now upon us? What did you do? From where do you come? What is your country, and from what people are you?
He replied to them,
I am a Hebrew, and Adonai, the God of the heavens, is whom I revere, and who made the sea and made the land.
They trembled, the men did, with fear so great, and they said to him,
What have you done?
They understood, these men, it was from the presence of Adonai that he was fleeing because he had told them so. They asked him,
What shall we do with you to quiet the sea about us? For the sea keeps on more fiercely storming.
He answered them,
Pick me up and throw me into the sea, and the sea will quiet down around you. For I know that it's because of me that it storms so mightily around you.
Still they rowed hard. The men did return to dry land, but they could not because the sea kept on storming more fiercely against them. So they cried out to Adonai, and they said,
You, Adonai, do not punish us because of this one man, and do not blame us for spilling his innocent blood, because it was you, Adonai, who has done as you please.
So they picked up Jonah, and they tossed him into the sea, and the sea eased off its anger. And then they became scared, these men, with a great fear of Adonai, offering sacrifices to Adonai, and they vowed vows.
So was provided by Adonai a great fish to gulp down Jonah. And so it happened that Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. And Jonah prayed to Adonai his God from the belly of the fish, saying,
I cried out in this trouble of mine to Adonai, and he answered me from the belly of Sheol where I cried, and you heard my call. It was you who cast me to the dark depths into the heart of the seas. Your rivers surrounded me, all your breakers and your waves passed over me. I thought, I am driven away from your eyes. Oh, that I might see your holy temple. Tossed in a whirlpool of water up to the soul, the deep surrounded me, seaweed wrapped around my head. To the underside of mountains I descended. The earth, its mast, closed me in forever. But you saved me from slaughter of my very life, O Adonai, my God. When my soul fainted inside me, it was Adonai that I thought of, and it came to you, my own prayer, to your holy temple. They who worship mere idols, they forsake all kindnesses. And I, with a voice of praise, will sacrifice to you. As I have vowed, so will I pay. Deliverance is of Adonai.
Adonai spoke to the fish, and it vomited up Jonah onto dry land. So Adonai spoke to Jonah again, saying,
Get up, go to Nineveh, the great city, and cry out to it the cry which I will speak to you.
So he got up, Jonah, and he went to Nineveh as he was told by Adonai. And Nineveh was a great city before Elohim, a span of 3 days to cross. So he began, Jonah, to enter the city a distance of 1 day. And he cried out and said,
Another 40 days and Nineveh is overthrown.
And the people, they believed in Elohim and declared a fast, dressed in sackcloth from the greatest to the smallest. And the news did reach the king of Nineveh, and he rose from his throne. He took off his robe from himself and covered himself in sackcloth, and he sat down in the ashes. So he called out and decreed for Nineveh.
By the order of the king and his nobles, it is decreed, neither man nor beast, neither herd nor flock will taste sustenance. They shall not eat, nor water shall they drink. They shall wear sackcloth, each person and beast. They shall cry out to Elohim with might, and they shall turn away, each person, from a path of wrongdoing. and from the violence of their hands. Perhaps there will be a turning, a repentance by Elohim, a return from anger, and we will not perish.
And he saw, did Elohim, what they had done, that they had turned from their paths of wrongdoing, and he relented, did Elohim, over the evil that he said he would do to them. So he refrained. But Jonah felt wrong, very wrong, and he became angry. He prayed to Adonai and said,
Please, Adonai, isn't this what I said back when I was at home? Because of this, I began to flee to Tarsus, because I knew that you are compassionate and merciful, long-suffering, so full of love as to forgive these evil ones. Now, Adonai, please take my soul from me, for it is better my death than my life.
And Adonai asked,
Are you really very angry?
So Jonah left the city and sat down east of the city, and he built himself there a sukkah, and he sat inside in its shade, so that he could see what happened in the city. And he prepared, Adonai Elohim, a gourd vine, and raised it above Jonah to be shade for his head and to save him from his foul mood. So glad was Jonah over the gourd that he was in great joy, that Elohim prepared a worm before the rise of dawn the next day, and it gnawed the gourd vine, which withered. At the rising of the sun, Elohim prepared a violent east wind, and the sun beat down on Jonah's head, and he fainted with a longing in his soul for death, and he said,
Better is my death than my life.
So saying, Elohim spoke to Jonah,
Is your anger still so great about that gourd?
and he replied,
It is so great, this anger, that I could die.
Then said Adonai,
You give your pity to this gourd which you did not labor for and did not raise. Overnight it appeared, and overnight it vanished. But should I not have pity on Nineveh, the great city-state, in which there are more than 120,000 people who do not know right from wrong, who do not know their right from their left, and who have many cattle?
Vayomer Adonai, Ata chasta al hakikayon, asher lo amalta vo velo giladata gidalto, shabin al-haila haya, ubin laila avad, yani lo achus al Nineveh העיר הגדולה אשר יש הרבה משתים עשרה ריבו אדם אשר לא ידע בין ימינו לשמאלו ובהמה רבה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, צור כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, האל הנאמן האומר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל נביאים ועל יום השבת הזה ועל יום הכיפורים הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה, למחילה ולסליחה ולכפרה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד, ודברך אמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מוחל וסולח לעוונותינו ולעוונות עמו בית ישראל, ומעביר השמותינו בכל שנה ושנה. מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש השבת וישראל Yom Kippurim.
Amen.
Thank you to the BIJ Jonah players. I know that you rehearsed for many, many weeks to make that happen. It's great. Thank you very much. We're going to return the Torah to the Ark now, and I'm going to invite Rebecca Coleman and Lily Siegel to come and open the Ark as we return the scroll to the Ark. Page 15 in the middle of the page.
It's Ha'ipi, Lamachasikim Ba, V'Tov Aleha, Le'usha, V'Rachecha, Darchei Noah, V'chol Netivotea, Shalom. Ashivenu Adonai Elacha V'nashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kekedesh.
Please remain standing for Chatzi Kaddish on the bottom of 16.
Gadol v'yikadash shemei Rabba ve'alma dirachirutei ve'yamlich malchutei chayechon uvyomechon uvchayetecho ben Yisrael galu v'zman kariv Imaru Shmei Rabba Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpahar v'yitroma Yitnaseh v'yitzadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Medekudesha Le'ela min kol birchata B'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Ta'amiram Be'alma Ta'amiram Be'alma Imeru Sefatai tiftach ufi Yagita hilatecha Sefatai tiftach ufi Yagita hilatecha Adonai, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Adonai, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Adonai, Sefatai tiftach ufi Yagita hilatecha Adonai Sefatai tiftach ufi Yagita hilatecha
אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל אלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. זוכרים לחיים מלך החפץ בחיים וחוטפינו בספר החיים למענך אלוהים החיים מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע מוריד אתה מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי מתים רחמים רבים סומך נופלים ברופא חולים מתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו בשני עפר מי כמוך בעל כבוד ומי דומה מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע מי כמוך אל הרחמים זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים למעתה בחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יחללוך סלע. קדוש אתה ונורא שמך ואין אלוה מבלעדיך ככתוב ויקרא אדוני צבאות במשפט והאל הקדוש מקדש בצדקה ברוך אתה אדוני המלך המלך המלך
Be seated. We are on page 20. As clay in the hand of the potter, to be thickened or thinned at will are we in your hand. Preserve us with your love. Your covenant recall, and not our imperfection. As stone in the hand of the mason to be broken or preserved at will are we in your hand, author of life and death. Your covenant recall, and not our imperfection. As iron in the hand of the blacksmith, to be thrust into fire or withdrawn at will are we in your hand. Help us to heal our wounds with deeds of charity. Your covenant recall, and not our imperfection. As a rudder in the hands of the sailor to be guided or abandoned at will, are we in your hand. Prevent our constant drifting. Your covenant recall, and not our imperfection. As glass in the hand of the glazier, to be melted or shaped at will are we in your hand. Maintain our fragile balance with your grace. Your covenant recall, and not our imperfection. You search the heart on Judgment Day. You uncover its depths in judgment. You command us to righteousness on Judgment Day. You know our inmost thoughts in judgment. Your love is steadfast on Judgment Day. You keep your covenant in judgment. You show us compassion on Judgment Day. You purify those who trust you in judgment. You see through our masks on Judgment Day, but you cool your wrath in judgment. You penetrate all mysteries on Judgment Day. You free your children in judgment. You are merciful to your people on Judgment Day. You preserve those who love you in judgment. We have sinned against life by failing to work for peace. We have sinned against life by keeping silent in the face of injustice. We have sinned against life by ignoring those who suffer in distant lands. We have sinned against life by forgetting the poor in our midst. We have failed to respect those made in the image of God.
We have withheld our love from those who depend on us.
We have engaged in gossip and slander.
We have distorted the truth for our own advantage.
We have conformed to fashion and not to conscience.
We have indulged in despair and in cynicism.
We have given meager support to our houses of study.
We have neglected our heritage of learning.
We have sinned against ourselves and paid little heed to the life of the Spirit.
We have sinned against ourselves and not risen to fulfill the best that is in us.
For all these sins, O God of mercy, forgive us, pardon us, and grant us atonement.
Salach lanu, nechalanu, kaper lanu. Yad Moed, Elohim, Slivot, Salach lanu, nechalanu, Salach lanu, nechalanu.
We'll read together at the top of page 24. Our God and God of our ancestors, sanctify us with your mitzvot, and let your Torah be our way of life. May our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. For you alone are the one who pardons and forgives us in every generation. We have no God but you. We praise God, whose forgiving love annuls our trespasses year after year. Sovereign of all the world, you hallow Shabbat, the people of Israel, and the Day of Atonement. Be gracious, eternal God, to your people Israel. Receive our prayers with love. Oh, may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Let our eyes behold your presence in the midst of our people in Zion. We praise you, Eternal One, who brings your Shekhinah to Zion. Modim anachnu lach, she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu le'olam va'ed. Tzur chayenu magen ishenu, atahu ledor vador. We gratefully acknowledge, Eternal God, that you are our creator and preserver, the rock of our life and our protecting shield for all generations.
Sim shalom, tova ubracha. Sim shalom, tova ubracha. Sim shalom, tova ubracha. Sim shalom, tova ubracha. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Sim shalom, tova ubracha. Sim shalom, tova ubracha. Sim shalom, tova ubracha. Sim shalom, tova ubracha.
We take an extended silence now for Tfilat Halev, prayer of our heart.
Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'ruach, Yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, imaru, amen.
On page 27. God, before whom our words must be true, we acknowledge our faults and our failings. Help us now to strengthen the good impulses that are within us. Help us to care about the wrongs done to others, to seek forgiveness for the wrongs we do, and to forgive the wrongs that are done to us. Create in us a clean heart and a willing spirit. Shed your light upon us that we may see the goodness in each of us. Say always, the world was created for my sake, and never say, of what concern is all this to me. Live as if all life depended on you. Do your share to add some improvement, to supply some one thing that is missing, and to leave the world a little better for your stay in it. As it has been written, fire shall be kept burning on the altar continually. It shall not go out. Our heart is in the altar. In every occupation, let a spark of the holy fire remain within you, and fan it into a flame. We rise for Kaddish Shalem. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chay d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach, v'olam v'olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'po'ar v'tromam v'yitnaseh. Yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha. B'richu. Le'ela u'le'ela, min kol birchata v'shirata, tushmachata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Titkabel tzolotahon, u'vu'utahon, D'chol Beit Yisrael kadam avuhon d'bishmaya v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav. V'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol b'nei adam v'imru. Amen. You can be seated. Our rabbis taught 613 commandments were given to Moses. Micah reduced them to 3. Do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. Isaiah based all the commandments upon 2 of them. Keep justice and righteousness. Amos saw one guiding principle upon which all the mitzvot are founded. Seek me and live. Habakkuk, too, expounded the Torah on the basis of a single thought. The righteous shall live by their faith. Kiva taught, the great principle of the Torah is expressed in the mitzvah, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. But Ben Azai found a principle even more fundamental in the words, this is the story of humanity. God, in creating us, made us in the divine likeness. And Hillel summed up the Torah in this maxim, what is hateful to you, do not do to others. The rest is commentary.
You must go and study it. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, Benashuva, Benashuva, Hades, Hades, Yamenu Kekedem. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, Benashuva, Benashuva, Chades, Chades, Yameinu Kekedem. Hades, Hades, Yameinu Kekedem.
It is our practice here at Beth Israel Judea that during the martyrology, and sometimes extending into Ne'ilah, we offer the opportunity for folks to have a moment or two of individual, personal, private prayer in front of the open ark. And so this is how we'll do it if you haven't been here before. In a moment, I'll go and open the ark. But unlike all the other times the ark is open, I'll ask you to remain seated. Because the ark will remain open during the whole of the martyrology, so that folks who want to go up and offer their personal prayer can do so. We'll ask that people line up in the aisle at the far end of the Beit Tefillah on this side. And then when the ark is open, you can go up to the ark. When you're finished, we'll ask you to go back down the same way. The reason we want the traffic on that side is so that the folks who are watching on the live stream can see what's happening on the bima, and we're not crossing over the path of the camera. So that's what we'll be doing. And throughout the martyrology, I'll ask that without being instructed, when there are paragraphs that are in italics, those are for the congregation to read, and various readers will be reading the leaders' portions. Okay, we'll be on page 31. I'm going to go and open the ark now. You can begin at the ark whenever you wish, but please line up on the far aisle. God's witnesses, God's servants, generation after generation, in times of darkness as in times of light, we have heard the divine word. You shall be to me the people of priests and a holy nation. We have felt the joy of being God's servants. We've also felt the pain, for it has been our destiny to be God's suffering servants. And so did we appear to the nations. The earth's crust is soaked with tears of the innocent. The blood of every race cries out from the ground. Which is the people without its martyrs? Now therefore, we honor those of every race and continent, the innocent, the victims, all our companions in death and our partners in grief. Them we honor, Them we mourn. May they never be forgotten. May a better world grow out of their suffering. And especially do we remember the suffering of the Jewish people, a people of pains and acquainted with grief. Look and remember, look upon this land, far across the factories and the grass. Surely they will let you pass. Speak then and ask the forest and the loam. What do you hear? What does land command? The earth is taken. This is not your home. Days and years of peace, these two have been our lot. Grandeur, greatness, quiet ages, domestic joys, times when fear might be almost forgotten. Yet again and again, our peace has been shattered, our land usurped, our dwellings razed. The mind grows numb, and the heart turns to stone to see our long travail. Our foes were not content to give us pain. Their dream was darker still, a world without Jews, a world that would forget our very name. We cannot forget this or be indifferent to its meaning. We shall remember.
These things I do remember as my soul pours out memory. How the arrogant have devoured our 10 martyrs as in one long day of blood. Rulers have arisen through the endless years, oppressive, savage in their witless power, filled with a futile thought, to make an end of that which God has cherished. In the time of Hadrian, Emperor of Rome, the study and practice of Torah were forbidden. Israel's leaders said, "How do we survive without the tree of life? Why live when the soul is dead?" And so they taught and learned and did God's will. Israel's 10 leaders were taken and doomed. Shimon ben Gamliel was slain. Remembering his wisdom and witnessing his death, disciples exclaimed, "Is this Torah and its reward?" Rabbi Yishmael was next to die. In pain and anguish, he cried out, and his cry, the heavens trembled. "Accept this, affirm me, for if you fail, the world must crumble into chaos." Then Yishmael accepted his faith and said, "I will trust in you, even though you slay me." These things do I remember, as my soul pours out memory, how arrogant have devoured us.
Akiba had defied the decree and continued to teach. He was among those taken. He was led to his death at the time when the Shema is recited. As his flesh was flayed, he said, "Shema Yisrael." "Even now?" his disciples asked. And he replied, "All my life this verse has troubled me. Love your eternal God with all your being. Love God, though you must die for it. I prayed always to be able to feel this, and now I can." And with his final breath, he said, "Hadar." The eternal God is one. Prolonging the last word until life was gone, thus in a godless world was God affirmed.
These things do I remember, as my soul pours out memory, how the arrogant have devoured us.
The Romans had forbidden the ordination of rabbis, decreeing death to ordainer and to those ordained, and destruction for any city which ordination would take place. Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava ordained 5 in the hills between 2 cities, Shepharim and Usha. When the enemy's soldiers were upon them, Rabbi Yehuda told his disciples to flee. "What will become of you?" they cried. And he answered, "I shall place myself before them as an immovable rock." So he did, and the Romans' lances struck him down, but the disciples escaped. The 10 included other teachers, 10 teachers among many. Dying, they did not perish. Their faith is immortal, their God eternal. These things do I remember, as my soul pours out memory, how arrogant have devoured us.
In the days of the Crusades, whole communities of Jews were massacred in the Rhineland. In one city, Young and old donned armor and stood behind their leader, Rabbi Kalonimos ben Meshulam. The gate was smashed. Their friends had fled, and death reached out with sword and fire. They said to one another, "Let us be strong and bear the yoke of our holy faith, for only in this world can the enemy kill us." In another city, as the flames mounted high, the martyrs began to sing a song that began softly but rose to a crescendo. Those who heard it came and asked, "What kind of song is this? We've never heard such a sweet melody." It was the Aleinu. We must praise the God of all.
So it was for us long ago, and only yesterday we drank once more the cup of sorrow.
Merciful God, enthroned on high, in your sublime compassion, remember the loving, the upright, the innocent, the holy congregations who gave their lives for the sanctification of your name. Loyal and honorable in their lives, in their deaths, they remained undivided. They were swifter than eagles and stronger than lions to do the will of their Maker and the desire of their rock. Remember them for the good with the other righteous of the world, and bring judgment upon those who shed blood of your servants. As it is written, give praise, O nations, with God's people, for God will bring judgment upon those who shed the blood of God's servants.
We walk the world of slaughter, stumbling and falling in wreckage, surrounded by the fear of death and eyes which gaze at us in silence, the eyes of other martyred Jews, of hunted, harried, persecuted souls who never had a chance, who've huddled all together in the corner and press each other closer still and quake. For here it was the sharpened axes found them, and they have come to take another look at the stark terror of their savage death. Their staring eyes all ask the ancient question, why?
כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד. והעיקר, העיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, העיקר, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, העיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, העיקר, לא לפחד כלל. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד.
The Holocaust. I have taken an oath to remember it all, to remember, to forget nothing at all, forgetting nothing of this, till the 10th generation, till the grief disappears, to the last, to its ending, till the punishing blows are ended for good. I swear this night of terror shall not have passed in vain. I swear this morning I will not live unchanged, as if I were no wiser even now, even now.
First they came for the communists,
and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me.
The very last, so richly, brightly dazzling yellow. Perhaps if the sun's tears could sing against a white stone, such a yellow is carried lightly way up high. It went away, I'm sure, because it wished to kiss the world goodbye. The very last, so richly, brightly dazzling yellow. Perhaps if the sun's tears could sing against a white stone. For 7 weeks I've lived in here, penned up inside this ghetto. But I have found my people here. The dandelions call to me, and the white chestnut candles in the court. Only I never saw another butterfly. The very last, so richly, brightly dazzling yellow. Perhaps if the sun's tears could sing against a white stone, that butterfly was the last one. Butterflies don't live in here.
Never shall I forget that night, the first night in camp, which has turned my life into one long night, 7 times cursed and 7 times sealed. Never shall I forget that smoke. Never shall I forget the little faces of the children whose bodies I saw turned into wreaths of smoke beneath a silent blue sky. Never shall I forget those flames which consume my faith forever. Never shall I forget that nocturnal silence which deprived me for all eternity of the desire to live. Never shall I forget those moments which murdered my God and my soul and turned my dreams to dust. Never shall I forget these things, even if I am condemned to live as long as God. Never.
God of Israel, I have fled to this place in order to worship you without molestation, to obey your commandments and sanctify your name. You, however, have done everything to make me stop believing in you. Now, lest it seem that you will succeed by these tribulations to drive me from the right path, I notify you, my God and God of my ancestors, that it will not avail you in the least. You may insult me, you may castigate me, you may take from me all that I cherish and hold dear in the world. You may torture me to death. I shall believe in you. I shall love you no matter what you do to test me.
And these are my last words to you,
my wrathful God. Nothing
Nothing
will
will
avail
avail
you
you
in the least. You have done everything to make me renounce you, to make me lose my faith in you. But I die exactly as I have lived, a believer. Eternally praised be the God of the dead, the God of vengeance, of truth, and of law, who will soon show your face to the world again and shake its foundations with your almighty voice. Into your hands, O God, I consign my soul.
Please stand for the partisan song. Så vi känner oss du gästen letzten Tag, den himmeln Maien överstellen blöje Tag, dann kommen Wetter noch so uns geweckte Show, Svetta Pökte unser Trott mir deinen Sohn, välkommen Wetter noch unser ausgewählt Show, Svetta Pökte unser Trott mir seinen Thron. You must not say that you now walk the final way, because the darkened heavens hid the blue of day. The time we've longed for will at last draw near, and our steps as drums will sound that we are here. From the land all green to lands all white with snow, we now arrive with all our pain and all our woe, where our blood sprayed out and came to touch the land. There our courage and our faith will rise and stand. So wir kämen aus der letzten Weg, den Handen meine Fahrer stellen bläue Tag. Da kommen wird noch unser ausgewinnt geschult. Zweck der Punkte, trot wir seinen Dom. Da kommen wird noch unser ausgewinnt geschult. Zweck der Punkte, unser trot wir seinen Dom.
And yet, even in the inferno, even there were those we call Hasadeh Umlot Ha'alam, the righteous of the nations. Some gave their very lives to keep Jews from harm. Who can measure such courage when so many were afraid to act? They bore witness to the greatness men and women can reach. Look and take heart. If ever such days return, remember them and find courage. Consider what can be done, what must be done, not to banish from our souls the image of God.
Let the righteous who are faithful be remembered for good. By their deeds, they have inscribed themselves in the book of life.
I'll ask everyone to stand once again for the memorial prayer. El Male Rachamim, Shochen Mamromi, Hamsei Menucha Nechona, Hamsei Menucha Nechona, Tacha Kanfei, Ashchina, במעלות קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים לנשמות רבבות אלפי ישראל שנהרגו ושנשחטו, שנחנקו, שנשרפו ושנקברו חיים על קידוש השם. בארצות תחת ממשלת הנאצים, אנא בעל הרחמים, הסתירם בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותיהם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבותם, ונאמר אמן.
Rebirth. After suffering, we rose up, refusing to die. We rose to tend the wounded and comfort the bereaved, to strengthen old communities and establish new ones, to open new synagogues, to build new schools, and we began to write a new chapter in our old book, continuing the story of Israel, the eternal people. God, teach us to do and to hear the command that rests upon us now, to honor the memory of the slain, to bring our people back to life, to bear witness before the world to your glory, and to the goodness of life.
Wir Juden wissen, es ist ein Gebot von Gott zu leben. We Jews know that the commandment of God is to live.
באמונה שלמה בביאת המשיח, בביאת המשיח אני מאמין, ואף על פי שיתמהמה עם כל זה אני מאמין. אני מאמין, אני מאמין, אני מאמין באמונה שלמה בביאת המשיח, בביאת המשיח אני מאמין, ואף על פי שיתמהמה עם כל זה אני מאמין. עם כל זה אחכה לו בכל יום שיבוא אני מאמין. עם כל זה אחכה לו בכל יום שיבוא אני מאמין.
Israel. In one land especially, we glimpsed the rays of a new dawn, the land of Zion, made ready for habitation by generations of pioneers. The great day came. Israel, independent at last, the millennial dream, a dream no more. Drawn by its brightness, her children flocked to Israel, to lands of despair, and found hope. Though bent in mourning, they plowed the earth deep so that grain would grow tall. And as they restored the land to its fruitfulness, they began themselves to be restored. Israel lives, a people at home again, rooted in its soil, its way of life, its ancient faith.
May 14, 1948. We hereby proclaim the establishment of the Jewish state in Palestine to be called Israel. We offer peace and unity to all the neighboring states and their peoples, and invite them to cooperate with the independent Jewish nation for the common good of all. Our call goes out to the Jewish people all over the world to rally to our side in the task of immigration and development, and to stand by us in the great struggle for the fulfillment of the dream of generations, the redemption of Israel. With trust in Almighty God, we set our hand to this declaration at this session of the Provisional State Council in the city of Tel Aviv on this Sabbath Eve, the 5th of Iyar, 5708, the 14th day of May, 1948.
You can be seated. At the bottom of page 45, our Jewish homeland, born to the prophetic dream of peace, has grown under the shadow of strife. Yet every generation draws endurance from the wellspring of our history. Every child is a new hope for harmony and peace. Every adult who goes to war prays it is the last. In the name of all the farmhands who let fruit spoil on the vines, to die on shrapnel-spitting mines. In the names of gentle teachers who left their marks on blood-red blackboards in the sand. In the name of the children, in the names of all the patient parents, I swear, my little child.
I swear to you once more. I swear that this will be the last of all the wars.
אני מבטיח לך, ילדה שלי קטנה,
שזאת תהיה המלחמה האחרונה.
אני מבטיח לך,
ילדה שלי קטנה, שזאת תהיה המלחמה האחרונה. An Arab shepherd is searching for his goat on Mount Zion. And on the opposite mountain, I'm searching for my little boy. An Arab shepherd and a Jewish father, both in their temporary failure. Our voices meet above the Sultan's pool in the valley between us. Neither of us wants the child or the goat to get caught in the wheels of the terrible Ad-Gadya machine. Afterward, we found them among the bushes, and our voices came back inside us, laughing and crying. Searching for a goat or a son has always been the beginning of a new religion in these mountains.
This is the vision of a great and noble life, to endure ambiguity and to make light shine through it, to stand fast in uncertainty, to prove capable of unlimited love and hope. Here I stand, the Jew, marked by history, for who can count how long? Wrapped in compassion as in a talit, staring every storm in the face, write songs of pain, sing prayers of torment, refresh yourself with suffering. Too much for one people, small and weak. It is enough to share out among the whole human race. But God has planted in me goodness, compassion, as a mother loves her children. So I writhe with pain, weep and sing, sing and weep. For the blood knows the heart of the world is not made of stone. The wonderful light of God's face is for all eternity stamped on it, firm and deep. And the heart feels that there is a day and an hour and a mountain called Zion. And then all the sufferings will gather there, and all will become song, ringing out into every corner of the earth from end to end. And the nations will hear it, and like caravans in the desert, will all to that mountain throng.
We have stood before God at the gates of the inner sanctuary, seeking our atonement, to be at one with God. Now we begin the journey back to the world, the path that leads us home. To walk humbly with your God. These words are written over the gate which leads out of the mysterious, miraculous light of the divine sanctuary, in which no one can remain alive. Where do the wings of the gate open? Do you not know? Into life. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה, אז יבואו כבר כולם. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה ננסה מההתחלה. יהיה לנו רע, אין דבר, זה לא נורא. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם.
Our service for yizkor begins on page 51. Page 51.
אל העברים, Shamayim Baretz, Ezri, Meim Adonai, Oseh, Shamayim Baretz, Esa'enai, El Heharim, Me'ayin, Me'ayin, Yavo Ezri, Esa'enai, El Heharim, Me'ayin, Me'ayin, Yavo Ezri.
O God, what are we that you have regard for us? What are we that you are mindful of us? We are like a breath. Our days are as a passing shadow. We come and go like grass that in the morning shoots up renewed and in the evening fades and withers. You cause us to revert to dust, saying, "Return, O mortal creatures." Would that we were wise, that we understood where we are going. For when we die, we carry nothing away. Our glory does not accompany us. Mark the wholehearted, and behold the upright, they shall have peace. You redeem the soul of your servants, O God, and none who trust in you shall be desolate. Birth is a beginning, and death a destination. And life is a journey, from childhood to maturity and youth to age, from innocence to awareness and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion, and then, perhaps, to wisdom, from weakness to strength, or strength to weakness and often back again, from health to sickness and back, we pray, to health again, from offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion, and grief to understanding, from fear to faith, from defeat to defeat to defeat, until looking backward or ahead, we see that victory lies not at some high place along the way, but in having made the journey, stage by stage, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning, and death a destination, and life is a journey, a sacred pilgrimage to life everlasting.
Eli, Eli, Shelo Yegamer Leolam, Hachol Ve'ayam, Rishru Shel Hamayim, Ve'rak HaShamayim, Tfilat Ha'adam, Hachol Ve'ayam, Rishru Shel Hamayim, Ve'rak HaShamayim, Tfilat Ha'adam. O God, my God, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart.
Death is nothing at all. I've only slipped away into the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the easy way, which you always used to. Put no difference in your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without affect, without the trace of a shadow on it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same that it ever was. There is absolutely unbroken continuity. Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I'm waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, to hope, to dream, to be and to lose. Thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me. Your laugh once lifted me. Your word is a gift to me. To remember this brings painful joy. It is a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death can touch.
Limnot Yameinu, Limnot Yameinu, Limnot Yameinu, Kein Hoda V'Navi Levav Chochma. Limnot Yameinu, Kein Hoda V'Navi Levav Chochma. Teach us to treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Limnot Yameinu, Limnot Yameinu, Limnot Yameinu, Kein Hoda V'Navi Levav Chochma. Limnot Yameinu, Kein Hoda V'Navi Levav Chochma.
Each of us has a name, given by our enemies, and given by our love. Each of us has a name given by our celebrations and given by our work. Each of us has a name given by the seasons and given by our blindness. Each of us has a name given by the sea and given by our death. Each of us has a name given by God and given by our parents. Each of us has a name given by our stature and our smile, and given by what we wear. Each of us has a name given by the mountains, and given by our walls. Each of us has a name given by the stars, and given by our neighbors. Each of us has a name given by our sins, and given by our longings. When cherished ties are broken, and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear, but love and understanding can help us pass through the darkness toward the light. Out of affliction, the psalmist learned the law of God, and in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silence in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing.
With me in my heart, me in my soul, wherever I go, you're with me. With me through my dreams, though sometimes it might seem like I'm alone, you're with me. All I have to do is think of you. There is no time, no place there's ever been an empty space. 'Cause you've been with me, you're the spark, the breath of life, the perfect part that fills me with strength and wisdom and peace. You're with me day and night, even when I question what I know is right. You're with me. All I have to do is think of you. There is no time, no place there's ever been an empty space. 'Cause you've been with me, you're the spark, the breath of life, the perfect part that fills me with strength and wisdom and peace. You're with me day and night, even when I question what I know is right. When I lose sight and fight myself and start to pray, and right away I know you're with me.
In our BIJ community, we remember those whose deaths occurred in the past year. BIJ member Paul Rosenberg. And in the family of our members, Gilbert Herrera, father of David Herrera, and Charlotte Estave, sister of David Herrera. Eduardo Isaacs, father of Gabriel Isaacs, and Batia Solomon, mother of Edna Eggert. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. Yizkor Elohim, we remember. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of the summer, we remember them. In the rustling of leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now part of us. Please rise. El male rachamim, shochen mamromim, hamsei menucha nechona, hamsei menucha nechona, tachat kanfei השכינה. במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים, את נשמת כל יקירינו, שלחו לעולמם. בגן עדן תהא מנוחתם, לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור חיים את נשמותיהם. אדוני הוא נחלתם. וינוחו, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר Amen. Compassionate God who dwells in the heavens' heights, prepare a fitting resting place beneath the wings of your Shekhinah, amid the ranks of the holy and pure, who shine like the heavens themselves for the souls of our beloved family and friends who have gone to other worlds. May their souls alight in the Garden of Eden. May you, who are the source of mercy, shelter them in your presence forevermore, and bind their souls among the living. You are now their inheritance. May they rest in peace. And let us all say,
Amen.
Amen.
Adonai Rohi Lo Echsal Binot Asher Yarbitzeni Alamei Menuchot Yenahaleini Nafshi Yeshovev Yadcheni B'maglei Tzedek Yadcheni B'maglei Tzedek Leman Shemo Yankilech Be'ketz Al-Mavet U'Virara Ki Ata Imadi Shiftecha U'Mishatecha Ima Yenachamuni Ta'aroch Lefanai Shulchan Neged Zorai Deshanta Vashemen Aroshi Kosi Revaya Achtov Chesed Yerdefuni Kol Yamei Chayai Kol Yamei Chayai Veshavti B'Beit Adonai Le'orech Yamim Adonai Rohi Lo Echsar Adonai Rohi Lo Echsar.
We remember our departed whose yahrzeits fall today or this coming week. Frida Pesherechina, loved one of Gennady Blinder and Valeria Pashnikova. Phyllis Jean Safford, mother of Andrew Safford. Eva Schweitzer, sister-in-law of Ben and Ann Schweitzer, aunt of Deborah Schweitzer. John Ukmanis, father of Inara Morgenstern. We mark with sadness the passing of Charlotte Estav, sister of David Herrera. We send our condolences to David and Stacy and all of David's family during this period of Shloshim following her death. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 60. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach yirutei ve'amlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chay d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipoar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'imramav. Hu ya'asei shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel v'imru. Amen. Everybody can be seated. Look around us, search above us, below, behind. We stand in a great web of being joined together. Let us praise, let us love the life we are lent, passing through us in the body of Israel and our own bodies, and let us say, Amen. Time flows through us like water. Past and the dead speak through us. We breathe out our children's children, blessing. Blessed is the earth from which we grow. Bless the life we are lent. Bless the ones who teach us. Bless the ones we teach. Blessed is the word that cannot say, the glory that shines through us and remains to shine, flowing past distant suns on the way to forever. And let us say, Amen. Blessed is light, blessed is darkness, but blessed above all else is peace, which bears the fruits of knowledge on strong branches. And let us say, Amen. Peace that bears joy into the world, peace that enables love, peace over Israel, everywhere. Blessed and holy is peace. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen. El Norah Alila. We continue on page 63. Open to me the gates of righteousness. I will enter and praise God. Zeh hasha'ar l'Adonai tzadikim yavo uvo. This is the gateway to God. The righteous enter here.
Holy
yavo uvo.
Our Nila service continues in your Shema Kolenu Machzor. And we turn to page 336. We rise, and before we continue on 336, we rise for a Reader's Kaddish.
Yitkana v'yitkadash shemei Rabba. V'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlif malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayetecho bet Yisrael. V'gala v'gala uv'izman kariv v'meru. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olam me'amaya yitvarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitroma v'yitaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal, shemei dekudashah, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiron be'alma, b'meru. Amen.
Page 336, we remain standing for the tefillah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu 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 Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tavim Mekonei Akol Zocher Chasdei Avot Imot Umevig Geula Livnei V'neihem Liman Shemo Me'ahava. Zochreinu L'chaim Melech Havet B'chaim V'chodfeinu B'sefer HaChaim V'hodecha Elohim HaChaim Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Kol Atah Hoshia Mechalkel Chaim B'chesed Mechayei Hakol Brachamim Rabbi Somech Noflim B'rofei Cholim U'atir לקיים אמונתו בשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אל הרחמים, זכה יצורה לחיים מרחמים, למען אתה לחיות כה. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי מתים.
You can be seated, and we continue on page 342. Page 342. Open the gates for us, Adonai, even at the time of their closing, for the day is nearly gone. The hours are passing, the sun is setting. Help us, Adonai, to understand ourselves. Let us enter into your gates. Page 347. Adonai, the Eternal, is a merciful and gracious God, slow to anger and abounding in kindness and truth. God extends kindness to the 1000th generation, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin. Please rise.
נוצר חסד ולפי, נושא עבור, ופשע, וחטא ונקר. אדוני, ירחם וחנון, דרך אפיים, ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע, וחטא ונקר. אדוני, ירחם וחנון, דרך אפיים, ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע, וחטא ונקר.
You can be seated, and we continue on page 348. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu, slach lanu, mechal lanu, kaper lanu. Our God and God of our tradition, forgive us, pardon us, and grant us atonement.
Anu amecha ve'ata Eloheinu. Anu amecha ve'ata Avinu. Anu avadecha ve'ata Adonenu. Anu amecha ve'ata Elkeinu. Anu nachalatecha ve'ata Golenu. Anu sonecha ve'ata ro'enu. Anu charecha ve'ata notrenu. Anu flatecha ve'ata yotzrenu. Anu rayatecha ve'ata dodenu. Anu sfilatecha ve'ata rovenu. Anu amecha ve'ata malkeinu. Anu mamirecha ve'ata mamireinu.
On page 350, may our prayer be acceptable before you. Do not hide yourself from our supplications, for we are not so arrogant and stubborn that we should say that we are righteous and have not sinned. But truly, we have sinned.
Ashamnu,
Ashamnu,
Bagadu,
Gadu,
Gazalnu,
Gazalnu,
Tipanu Dofi,
Hanu, Dofi,
Evinu,
Avinu,
Virshanu,
Virshanu,
Zadnu,
Zadnu,
Hamasnu,
Chamasnu,
Tafalu Shaker,
Tafalu Shaker,
Yahatznuha,
Yahatznuha,
Kizavnu,
Kizavnu,
Lahatznu,
Lahatznu,
Maradnu,
Maradnu,
Niyatznu,
Niyatznu,
Saranu,
Saranu,
Avidu,
Avinu,
Ashanu,
Ashanu,
Saranu,
Saranu,
Ishinu Ore,
Kishinu Ohore,
Rashanu,
Rashanu,
Shichatnu,
Shichatnu,
Tiavnu,
Tiavnu,
Tainu,
Tahinu,
Titanu.
Titanu. Everybody can be seated. And for the final Birkat Kohanim, I will invite once again all those who are Kohanim in the congregation, please to come to the Bima. We have Kohanim in the congregation. Please come forward. Page 362. Praised are you, Adonai, who has placed hope into the hearts of men and women. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha, u'lecha na'eh lehoga. You have to have at least one buck.
Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu, Barucheinu habracha hamshulashet, haktuva b'Torah. Yivarechecha Adonai, v'yishmerecha, ein yehi ratzo. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha, v'chunecha, ein yehi ratzo. Yisa Adonai panav elecha, ve'asem lecha shalom. Kein yehi ratzon.
We return back to your Machzor booklets, page 65. Page 65. We rise for Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Aleinu, Aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Aleinu, Aleinu, Ki ein banu ma'asi. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed, v'hoshienu. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed, v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Aleinu v'Aleinu, Ki ein banu ma'asi.
At the end of our Yom Kippur Ne'ilah, we observe the great Aleinu in remembrance of the high priest in the temple on Yom Kippur. The rabbi and the cantor will do a full prostration for this Aleinu. It's a custom and a tradition here at Beth Israel Judea that any members of the congregation who want to share in this observance of a full prostration to come to the bima and join us for the great Aleinu. Aware of our weakness, eternal God, we have come before you longing for your presence, your light, your peace. We have reflected with anguish on life misused and filled with regrets, on opportunities neglected and promises unfulfilled. We have struggled to reach you, to turn back to you and your law. Accept then our penitent spirits. Be with us as our hope for the future. Now, as evening falls, light dawns within us, hope and trust revive. The shadow that darkened our spirit is vanished, and through the passing cloud there breaks, with the last rays of the setting sun, the radiance of your forgiving peace. We are restored, renewed by your love. How can we find words to thank you for your goodness? And how can words alone be fitting thanks? And so we make this pledge. We will thank you with our lives. We will offer to you the work of our hands. Fill then our heart, our life, our work with a constant love for you, God of the universe, creator of all life, eternal God of all being. Then shall our souls rejoice and sing. You have turned my grief into dancing, released me from my anguish, and surrounded me with gladness. Adonai, my God, I shall give thanks to you forever.
ואנחנו תורים ומשתחווים ומודים.
Ba'alei Tikiyah, our shofar blowers, please join us on the bima.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai
Tekiyah Gedolah. Please come on up close and join us for Havdalah.
Everybody on the bima. Everybody on the
And then
bima.
we'll break the fast together.
Come on up here close. Come on up on the bima. Good start. Ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei pari agafen Borei pari agafen Ya la ya la 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 ya ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei b'nei v'samim Borei b'nei v'samim Ya Elai ya la 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 ya Elai ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya Elai ya la 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 ya Elai ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei melech ha'esh Borei melech ha'esh Ya Elai ya la 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 Ya Elai ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la ya la la Ya Elai ya la 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 Ya Elai ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la ya la la Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol Atotenu hu yimachol Zareinu v'chaspeinu yarbechacho V'kochavim b'layla Shavua tov, Shavua tov, Shavua tov, Shavua tov Shavua tov, Shavua tov, Shavua tov, Shavua tov, Shana tova, 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 Shana tova. Eliyahu Navi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimero Be'amedu, Yavo Aleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David.
In a moment, there is a break fast waiting for us in the social hall. Before we go there, I want to take a moment to thank John Hurt and the members of our choir. Thank Ricky. Thank Ricky. Thank all of our choral readers and service participants, all who made these services so beautiful to start this year. Even though we don't have the bread here, let's make a motzi so that you can go right in and eat.
Baruch Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, te'avon. Bon appetit. I shouldn't do that. I should pass it around, huh? Okay, here we go. Have a little bissel. Mwah.